Hello and welcome to spring. I'm Melissa at Shop Eco and I'm here with a new video for you talking about the new spring trends for 2016. We're also going to touch on some other great topics at the beginning of the cosmetic application, which I think is really the foundation. We're going to look at the complexion in relation to cosmetics. We're going to look at male cosmetics because that is an emerging beauty trend around here, or male grooming trend. And we're also going to, like I said, look at the spring report for 2016 in relation to that trend, as well as kind of taking it into the rest of the year. So let's get started and welcome. So great, makeup really does begin with the notion that you have to have the basis of a great skin. And it doesn't mean you're going to have perfect skin, it just means that you're going to have a great routine that's going to help build that foundation for you. So as an esthetician, I always recommend the ABCs of skincare. That's cleanse, tone, and moisturize. Serums are great, they're nourishing boosters that are only going to enhance the vitality of your skin. Eye creams I'm definitely an advocate for. But if your eye cream tends to be a little bit more rich, thick, or a little bit oily in nature, then you might want to consider skipping and foregoing it in the daytime and just using it in the nighttime. That way it doesn't affect the application of your cosmetics or the longevity of your cosmetics in the eye area for the day. Oh, and just a note on the cleansing and toning and moisturizing, you want to do that twice a day. I know some of you guys makes you kind of go, oh, but really that is important to do. If you find your skin is more normal to dry in the morning, I'll let you off the hook if you did your routine at night with just doing a splash of water with toner and moisturizer. If you're noticing the texture of your skin isn't quite where you want it and is affecting the application of your makeup, that can be dry, flaky skin. It could be a little bit of a thicker layer due to your oily acneic skin. It could just be that you're dull and devitalized from the winter time. It could be a number of reasons. But if you're not already doing so, you may want to do an exfoliating and masking treatment, kind of like your deeper cleansing treatment, at least once a week. If you're already doing that and you feel you need a boost, it's okay to up that to 2 to 3 times a week, depending on your skin type. You're more than welcome to come in and visit us anytime and we can take a look for you and kind of go over that with you. But when you do those deeper cleansing treatments, it's going to help to really refine the overall texture of your skin, and your makeup is going to apply so much smoother and you'll be ultimately a lot happier. I wanted to mention 2 great products for those of you out there that are always kind of curious when you have the rosacea, the sensitive skin, the redness, the cuprosity to your skin, and you're always kind of curious about that green concealer, and you kind of ask us about that. Over my decade in the industry, I've seen a real shift away from a lot of the color correctors. More so towards the yellow. I had worked in some medi-cosmetic territory and we were actually getting more into the yellow to cover redness. It just seemed to be a little more versatile. However, I did find a green in the natural world that I do really like to advocate. The problem with green is that sometimes in the cosmetic form it can leave the skin looking ashy or garish depending on the person. But I find this technique works lovely for those of you, again, with the rosacea sensitive skin, redness, cuprosity. So I have 2 great products I've pulled to show you guys today. I have the Fit Glow Redness Rescue Cream. This cream is fabulous. This is great for men or women. So if you find yourself in that situation, please go ahead. This one is a lighter texture. It feels a little bit more cream to lotion texture. So if you're somebody that doesn't like a heavy feel, this is a great one. It does have some green minerals in it. We'll use this one all the time. If you have one of these airless pumps, you can always tap the bottom and then start pumping and it will work out the air bubble and get it going again. Perhaps. I'll check and come back on that one for you in a minute. But it does have a natural green tint to it, which really helps to immediately take down redness. And because it is a cream and it kind of self-adjusts with your body warmth, it looks really, really nice and natural. It doesn't leave you with that garish tone, and that kind of acts as your primer and your concealer. My other option for you is the Skin Essence E-Cream. This is another staple that we've had with us for a couple of years now. The Fit Glow is a little bit newer to us and to you guys. Whereas the E-Cream has been with us for a couple of years. This is a great product coming out of the Toronto area. It is a little bit richer, so if you're a little bit drier and you like that more thick balm feel, if you're a runner, we have a lot of runners that love this when they're running along the river. They can tend to get that windburn feel. This will help to kind of calm and soothe and protect So this one you can see is a little bit richer, and it does have that green tone to it, but as soon as you rub it in, it will dissipate and it will help to take down the redness that you find in your skin. All right, we are heading into the gorgeous weather. Even though we kind of went back a little bit this week, it has no choice. It's downhill now, or uphill to the beautiful weather. You should be using sunblock year round, but I know a lot of you guys don't prefer to do so in the winter time. But you do kind of move towards it now that we've gone through March break for your vacation and then throughout the spring and summer. So we have some great natural options for you that are not the body-based natural sunblocks that can sometimes feel a little too rich for the face. So I have some options here I'm going to show you. There are 4 products that we have that we absolutely adore on staff here. So the first one I want to share with you is Consonance The Perfect Sunscreen SPF 30. This one is nice and it's more of a lotion texture upon application, so it feels very nice and light. It won't make you feel heavy, and it actually comes with a little bit of a tint, and this one didn't fight me today. You can see it already has a little tint, so it helps to minimize that little bit of whiteness, I should say, that the natural sunblocks can sometimes impart upon first application, so your body adjusts. So the nice thing is you kind of skip over that. You can use this on its own. We do have a lot of gentlemen that do like this consonant one. Or you could use it under your makeup. It goes in very quickly, so you don't have to wait too long for it to set before you can apply your makeup. I usually do my skincare after showering, and then I'll blow dry my hair, and by the time I go to do my cosmetics, it's really in there quite nice, and that's usually anywhere between, depends on how lazy, 10 to 15 minutes. So that's kind of optimal, but really you don't have to wait that long. Most people it's 3 to 5 minutes. The other 3 options are from Andalou. This is a line that we've really fallen in love with. I'm sure you've seen our chocolate facial mask post, and if you haven't smelled it yet, the next time you come in, you have to make a point of doing so. All our masks, they smell, and exfoliants smell just absolutely delicious. So the Andalou Naturals BBs are wonderful. I'm sure many of you have heard of BBs. BBs have been very popular for many years now. So a beauty balm kind of is a little more all-encompassing. It's kind of like a skincare product that crosses with a cosmetic. It's a kind of a primer. You can put it on its own. You can put it underneath your foundation. I find these ones a little bit richer in texture, but not as definitely rich as a body SPF. The clarifying one is untinted, whereas the one for brightening and age defying, they do have a little bit of a tint. They're great products. I can't say anything bad about them. They really do help to make the skin look and feel really good, and they do help to impart a good, healthy look to the facial complexion. So I recommend those guys for sure. So with that being mentioned, let's kind of get into some of the different foundations and just very briefly, and applications. So we have a variety of foundations at Shop Eco. We have something for everybody here, which is fantastic. I have everything down to loose mineral foundations, such as the Pura Nada ones. They come in a nice little container, pour out very easy. That will give you a nice light coverage. We can do light medium coverage with the Sappho liquid foundation. We can get into a light, more like a medium full, I should say, coverage with the Fit Glow. Both of those are very nourishing for the skin, all about improving the skin. A lot of great ingredients in there that are all the perfect antis that we love. The anti-redness, so anti-inflammation, anti-aging, antibacterial, so they're awesome. And they do impart between a dewy and a semi-matte finish. We have great foundations from Pura Nada. We have their tinted moisturizer, like this guy here. Works very nice for light application. And a lot of you guys like to say that you use your fingers, and I always give you trouble and say you need a tool. This is the only one that I usually let you off the hook with. We also have their pressed powders and their main liquid foundation, and that can get you from a medium to a full coverage. So they're quite lovely. We have a range for you. Come in and check them out, or visit one of us and we can help you make the right match. I'm really, really excited to introduce you guys to this brush here. This brush is coming from Sappho Organics. We love this company. We've loved them for quite some time now. It's actually a celebrity cosmetic line coming out of British Columbia, designed by Joanne Fowler, who's an Emmy-nominated makeup artist. So hello, congratulations, Canada. We are keeping up and kicking butts. It was actually used on the set of Twilight, so that's why those vampires glowed. This brush is really unique. You're going to see these popping up everywhere. They're called oval facial brushes. They are meant to give an airbrushed finish to your makeup. So primarily you're going to use this when it comes to liquid foundations. I've seen this used by other industry experts with using their concealer around their eye area. I've seen them using it to contour. The possibilities are really endless. It's a very lovely brush. It's an obsession. I walk by this brush and I have to touch it. It's probably one of the softest brushes I've ever touched in my life. It's got thousands of really densely packed bristles. You have to come and see it. So this brush is absolutely phenomenal. So how you're going to want to work with this brush, it's very, very easy. You can take your foundation, and again, I'm letting you use your fingers a little bit here. You're going to take it, and normally you would do your face, but I'm already done today. So you're going to dab it where you're going to want to apply it. I say probably do 1/2 of your face first at a time, because you don't want to be 10 hours with it, but you don't want to race either. So by the time you're done buffing gently the one side, you don't want this to be like really dry dots all over your face. That would be interesting. So you're just going to take your brush and you're just going to gentle little circles and smooth it all around. It fits very nicely into the contours of your face, including around your nasal folds along the sides there. And it's very easy to work into the eye area. So you just want to keep doing that very softly. You don't need a lot of pressure. You'll be able to feel when you go to use it for the first time, or when you're testing it in shop here with us, that it just sits perfectly against the skin. You don't have to do anything in particular in the way of pushing or really grinding it to make it flow. It flows. And you get a really smooth coverage. It's amazing. If you're going to transition between powders and liquids with your application, as in you're going to use a brush for the liquid, and you want to use powders for contouring, I would suggest having maybe 2 brushes. That way you don't have to compete with a wet brush and a dry brush and going back and forth and the kind of mess it can make. So just get 2 brushes if you're going to be kind of high tech with your application. Anybody can use this. It's a fabulous tool. I can't say enough about it, and be ready because 2016, these are going to blow up. Next, I want to go over concealers just very, 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 very briefly. We have a variety of concealers here. We have a couple by Sappho, Neutrality and Undo. Neutrality kind of goes with everybody and leaves a nice healthy radiance. The Undo is really good for those with really heavy dark under eye circles, or like I mentioned way at the beginning of this video, that need to do some corrective work with redness in their skin. You can apply it all over. With that, just because of the yellow nature of it, you definitely want to make sure you're working with a foundation to get an even blend. Otherwise, it's going to be very obvious. We have great concealers from Pura Nada. Those have been kind of a little bit of a cult favorite around here. They're, again, easy to work with. They've recently switched from pots to sticks. So if you're coming in for a refill on those, don't be surprised. It's the same formula you've always loved, just in a new platform. I'm really excited to talk about the Fit Glow Bright Eye Concealer. Their concealer is actually working overtime. I love a product that does overtime for anything because it just means that you're getting more bang for your buck. So this is actually using, I want to confirm, yes, organic coffee to reduce puffiness, as well as peptides to smooth wrinkles, and then a whole plethora, if I can speak, of other ingredients that are going to help to nourish, in particular, the eye area. So this is kind of really a hero product right now. I'm loving it. We're seeing a lot of people getting great results. You can use it on blemishes as well, if that's where you're kind of doing corrective work, but it's really a great eye area product. So this is awesome. So next we're going to venture into male cosmetics. So it is definitely an emerging trend in the Windsor area. As you can imagine, it's definitely already there when it comes to bigger cities such as Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, Ottawa. But Windsor, we're on the map, we're catching up, we're not going to be left behind anymore. And really, you're seeing this used by a range of men nowadays, certainly in the LGBTQ community, but you're also seeing it in business professionals and gentlemen that are in the media that need to be camera ready. So you're seeing it used for self-expression, for being camera ready to enhance, and really, gentlemen really do have the same concerns that a lot of us women do when it comes to having a perfect complexion. So guys, let's go into that just very quickly here. You can take everything from the first half of the video. It's definitely about the ABCs of skincare. You have to start with your foundation. So I'm not letting you off the hook. You have to get cleansing, you have to get toning, and you have to get moisturizing. Because really it's just going to make everything so much smoother and nicer looking for you. When it comes to your foundations, we want a lighter application. We don't want it to be as obvious. Less is more, and you want that je ne sais quoi approach where people can't really tell. So the best options for a gentleman looking to do his makeup would be the Pure Nata Loose Powder. Great for anybody that's under 30. When you're getting over 30, you want to make sure that you're a little bit more judicious in your choice of whether or not that's right for you. If you're starting to get the fine lines and wrinkles, I tell this to the women too, it can really sit in there when you're using powders, and then it's highlighting exactly what you're trying to counteract. So avoid the loose powders unless it's a setting powder. For your overall foundation look. The other great options that would work really nicely for a gentleman would be the Pure Nata tinted moisturizer. Really easy to work with. You can use your fingers for this one. You can also use a sponge and a brush. Very easy to do, and I can easily teach you, and so can the other gals and gentlemen on staff. The other great product is the Sappho foundation. Fit Glow is a good fit too, but you're getting into a little bit more fuller coverage, whereas this is still just a little bit lighter, and the nice thing is it doesn't give you that mask effect. You can still see features on your face, such as some stronger freckles and whatnot, so everybody will recognize you. Then you get into your concealers. If you're using a powder, you're going to put your concealer underneath first. If you're using a liquid, you're going to do your concealers over top, because otherwise you tend to push off your concealer when you're using a liquid. Make sure you're finishing up with a setting powder. I personally love to recommend Sappho Silky Setting Powder. We do have other ones. This is just the most easy if you're going to come in and grab off the shelf. User-friendly product to grab. It's going to, gentlemen, you're going to like this in particular. It's going to take down that dewy shine that most men do not want to be associated with when it comes to cosmetics. There are some gentlemen out there that like that. Don't get me wrong, if you want to go for it. If you want radiant skin, I'm all for that. But for the most part, you're seeing a lot of men, especially in media, because you don't want that shine always on the camera, using a nice setting powder. Ladies, it works great too, and this is going to help keep your little hairs in place. It's going to set your makeup, make it last longer, and again, it's going to keep the oils and the moisture under control. And gentlemen, I do see, when it comes to complexion, a little bit of some bronzing action happening. It's really good to add a little bit of warmth back into your face, because when you do use foundation, you kind of make a perfect even canvas, and it can be a little startling that it takes away some of that. It feels like depth, even though you haven't. It can feel like that, just the way the light suddenly bounces off your face. So a bronzer is totally normal and what I'm seeing as an emerging trend for the area as well, and it's a great way to make you look like you've got some sun without actually getting the harmful rays of the UV, or if you're stuck in an office. My preferred choice, I think, for gentlemen would be Sappho's Bronze Goddess. Forgive the name, we'll say Bronze God for you guys, just simply because I find this one is very light in application, so it's not going to be as obvious, and you have a lot of control over it, so it's not like you're going to have an instant powder keg on your face. You can actually use it to contour, so suck your cheeks in, you're going to go along your cheekbone just underneath it. You can actually use it to make because you guys are chiseled, your cheekbones come out a little bit more. We're not really seeing you guys use it higher up into the apple, so that's where you're going to want to put it there. And you can bring it up into the very upper part of your forehead, kind of where the hairline meets the forehead area. You want to kind of work it through this portion here, and you can work it a little through the temples, and then you can use a sponge to kind of beauty blend it out and make sure that you don't have an obvious line. You want everything to just kind of flow and disappear, be very natural. All right, so we kind of covered some of the basics, which I wanted to get into. We're just going to quickly go over some trends now, which excites me to no end, especially every spring, because it's a breath of fresh air, and we're getting towards the happy feel time of year. Except for you few folks that love winter. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them, but I'm not judging. So the Pantone Color Institute, they kind of set the trend over the last many years when it comes to fashion, beauty, even home and interior design. This year they went with 2 colors and they've blended them together. We thank Envy Boutique for allowing us to borrow these great shirts that highlight and capture those colors together. Go and stop by and see them, grab yours because these are perfect for this year. But you can kind of get the essence of what we're working with. They went with 2 colors called Rose Quartz and Serenity. The executive director at Pantone Color Institute, her name is Latrice Eisman. She has a lovely quote, which I will read from the paper to you folks today. She said, "Joined together, Rose Quartz and Serenity demonstrate an inherent balance between a warm, embracing rose tone and the cooler, tranquil blue, reflecting connection and wellness, as well as soothing sense of order and peace." How beautiful is that? It's like poetry when it comes to beauty. When I looked at their website and was doing my research, I just absolutely enjoy their little video that they put together. The very first thought that came to me was that it was very ethereal. The way they combine the two, it's like staring and gazing into the heavens. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So if you have a moment, please visit their website and check out their quick little video. So that's going to kind of weave into what we're talking about next. First I want to touch on highlighting, strobing, and frosting. That is kind of where makeup is taking us right now, and it's kind of walking away from contouring, which means it's going to make your life easier, quicker, and it's going to look more like you, which is a breath of fresh air. So Fit Glow Minerals just released a wonderful new duo. It's champagne and soft gold kind of mixed together, and it's just called Highlight. I'm loving it. I tried it for the first time and it hasn't hit the shelves yet, so you guys are getting a sneak peek hopefully in the next few days leading up to our big event where the Fit Glow maker is going to be here. That's this coming Saturday. Her name is Anna. She's lovely. So if you're around, please come and meet her, 10:30 to 5:30. The highlight here, you can use the colors swirled together, or you can use them separately. I like them swirled together if you're going to do a lot of the décolleté. If you're going to do through here, that's great. That's one of the points for strobing, is you want to do on your upper cheekbone. I'm seeing either a C coming through from the brow bone into the cheekbone. The Kardashian sister is doing one through here. I saw Emma Watson with one through here. You can play with it, see what looks best for you, but generally speaking, when you're doing strobing, you're doing down the bridge of your nose, you're doing your brow bone, you're doing the inner corner of your eye. I kind of did some of that today. You're doing around here and either up through here or lower. You can bring it into your Cupid's bow before you put your lipstick on. That's a really great way to help make your pout pop. And then you're going to see when you work with them together that the one side here is definitely a little bit more glittery. You might want to be a little more judicious with the application of that, but you'll get a sense of you and what you prefer. But it's fabulous. It's kind of like the ultimate strobing, highlighting, frosting, whatever you want to call this trend, the ultimate product to be able to do that. It's suitable for sensitive skin, acne prone skin, mature skin. It's also meant to be oil absorbing and moisture balancing. It's triple milled. That is super important. I've been working with minerals. It's been huge for at least a decade now, and I notice a difference in right away. I can tell when a product has been milled more than once, and if it's been milled once, and it makes a huge difference. So this line, triple milled, that's the gold standard. Going into the Pantone colors, this is where it gets fun. Because when I was doing my research, I remembered that we were doing the Fit Glow new color combination called Bliss for the eyes. And I'm like, oh, those really remind me of the Pantone colors. Well, when I looked it up, guess what? That was where they got their inspiration from. So these are beyond on trend. They are the trend. So you guys will be ahead of the game if you go with these colors right here. They are amazing. I put them on. I love them. So you're kind of seeing them first here. They're very soft. Again, that ethereal look. they're just great. So I actually went with the steely color on my lower lid and blended it into the crease. And then I took that pinkish color through the crease and kind of just blended the two together. I also used some of the highlights on my eye area. So I kind of popped it, I don't know if you can see very well from here, but I'll show you from here. I popped it on this paper and you can see how the light picks it up so nicely. You can see through the cheek. I also, for the cheek, if you are going to stick with the contouring, with summer coming, it kind of gives you the bronze effect too, but they have from Fit Glow a product called Sculpt. It's very easy to work with. I like to use, actually, foundation brush, believe it or not. There are rules and there are no rules when it comes to makeup. So I like to use a foundation brush because it's very dense and you can get in there precisely and do in that part of your cheek. So that definitely is a must. Then the other last trend I really want to hit home, actually two real quick here, is the runway from spring 2016. We're seeing huge lip trends. The big trends that we're seeing is either a bold red lip. I'm loving it. You guys are walking in with it, so it's here. It's a big trend. Grab hold, because after a dull winter you want those colors. We're also seeing nudes, which is a classic every year. So I kind of picked some of my favorite brighter, bolder lips, and I also picked a few of my nudes. So to achieve these colors, you're going to want to come in and you're going to want to check out Fit Glow's Love. We have it in their gloss and their lipstick. We have Fit Glow's, this one is Craze, which is a little more toned down if you don't want to do a full red. We have their Nudie and their Joy. I'm wearing Joy today. Love these colors. And Marina-T, love these products as well. These we featured last spring, and you know what? They hold true this spring. Nude never goes out of style. So Flare and Posh, definitely grab hold of those, ladies. The last major trend is blue eyelining. So blue is back. Aqua, bright. We're talking blue eyelining. I'm seeing it in shadows, but more so eyelining because it's easier to work with. People feel a little more comfortable with that. I have two great blues for you. I have from Piranha their Pressed Reef, which is kind of more of a turquoise, which kind of makes me think of Brooke Shields and Blue Lagoon. And if you don't know who that is, that means I'm really old and you're very young, so no cross judgment. We also have the Bahama Blue Loose Mineral Eyeshadow, and this one is very pretty as well. Very reminiscent of many of the things that I've seen across the runways, and I'm talking New York, Paris, Milan, all of them. This is a color that's huge right now. Young ladies, rejoice because you're going to look great. And glitter eyes, it kind of flows into that blue, but you can do this with any color. If you want to achieve a gray glitter eye, you can combine your favorite glitter from the Highlight Duo Now. That's perfect to layer and you'll get that chunk glitter feel, or any of the Piranha loose shadows. They're not quite as chunky, but in my opinion, it's a little less gaudy than what you'll see on the runway and a little more street friendly. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. We kind of took a mad dash through skincare in relation to cosmetics, male cosmetics, and we took a look at the trends for 2016, at least for spring, but these are really colors you can carry throughout. Stay tuned for more from us and the rest of the team, and if you like this, put a comment below and let me know what you want to see next, because I have all kinds of ideas. Thank you so much. Bye.